Kansas Governor Laura Kelly was in Wyandotte County for a ceremonial signing of Adrian's Law. The bill is named after 7-year-old Adrian Jones. He was tortured, starved, and killed in 2015. His father and stepmother were sentenced to life in prison. KCTV5's Emily Rittman talked with Adrian's grandmother. She helped get that bill passed. Emily, what did she have to say?
Well, Adrian's grandmother, Judy Conway Walsh, says that she is hopeful that Adrian's Law will help save children that are abused or neglected. Adrian Jones endured horrific abuse before his death. His Kansas Division of Children and Families file included more than 2,000 pages. Investigators say his father, Michael Jones, and stepmother, Heather Jones, had multiple surveillance cameras inside their Wyandotte County home that recorded the abuse they inflicted on Adrian.
I saw those pictures and I saw those videos, and anybody would have stepped in and said, I'm calling the police now. We would have been there and Adrian would be alive today. And that is the hardest thing for me to deal with, knowing that it didn't have to end like this.
Kansas City, Kansas Police Department Detective Stuart Littlefield wanted to witness the signing of Adrian's Law in person. His friend and fellow detective Brad Lancaster worked tirelessly to investigate Adrian's death. Lancaster was later killed in the line of duty while responding to another reported crime.
Please don't forget Adrian, and don't forget Olivia, and don't forget Brad.
Many people who live in the Wyandotte County community not only mourn Adrian's death, they also grieve the death of 3-year-old Olivia Jansen, who was killed in July of last year. DCF received reports of suspected abuse of both Adrian and Olivia before their deaths. Olivia's father, Howard Jansen III, and his girlfriend, Jacqueline Kirkpatrick, are charged with murder in connection with her death. Adrian's Law now requires child welfare employees and law enforcement officers to visually observe a child when they're investigating allegations of abuse or neglect in Kansas.
They need to physically put their eyes on these children. No more knocking and just walking away, or knocking and walking away and never going back.
Advocates believe abuse suspects often try to prevent abused children from being seen by investigators.
And they said, well, he's at grandma's, he's at an auntie's shop. No, take us there. We have to see him.
I'm emotional and I'm also so happy. But I also think about Adrian not being here, and I wish he could be here.
Adrian's grandmother is thankful the law took effect in June. She believes the legislation brings long overdue changes to protect children.
I believe even if we save one child, it's going to make a difference. But I'm hoping that we can give a voice to a lot of children, and turn their fear into hope, and just not have these kids crying out and asking for help, and the adults in social services or wherever it is not listening to them.
Adrian's Law also requires that if an adult is living in a home where a child is being abused, they are now required to report it. If not, they could be held criminally responsible. Reporting live, Emily Rittman, KCTV5 News.